Hello again. So I am out in Hertford Woods again. I was out here a couple of weeks ago and I saw this path that I'd not been on before. It's always nice to find a new path. I thought I knew most of the paths on this section of woodland, but there was a scene that I wanted to come back and shoot again, and I wanted to shoot it with a long lens, because with long lens you can get extra separation. When you get the blurry background, the bokeh, that's what I'm going to need in this shot, because it's just a branch. Now it's been raining a lot today. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening now. Thankfully we've got some lighter evenings now. So I've looked at the weather radar and saw that the worst of the rain had gone. I don't mind the odd shower, but it's just starting to rain now. I don't think it's going to be heavy. It's not going to be a problem, but let's hope I can find this path again. So I kind of just was wandering around, but I think got a pretty good idea where it is. So let's get there and find this particular scene that I'm on about. Okay, well I don't know where that came from. It wasn't forecast at all. I just got caught in a hailstorm. I started seeing the hail and I thought, well, when you see hail sometimes it comes along with thunder. And sure enough, there was a flash of lightning and a rumble of thunder. So I kind of got out of the woods and got into a clearing, put my camera gear aside because it's metal, and sort of stood aside and just crouched, let the rain pass over. I'm quite wet, but when I came to use the camera again, it's dead. Put in a different battery, nothing. It's completely lifeless. It's been waterlogged. So what I'll have to do is dry it out and hope that it works. Okay, forget that. I just left it for a little while and switched it on, and it came on, and it took a photo, but I'm not risking it. I turned it back off and let it dry out properly, and I think this might be a two-part video, because I think this one's ended out a bit short. I've got another idea for a video on Wednesday. Today's Monday, so I'll probably upload it on Thursday. So anyway, it's not all bad. I mean, that was a bit of a shock for me, to be honest with you. Finding out your camera's dead makes your blood run cold, to be honest with you. They tend to be your right arm almost, you know. But yeah, so I'll just leave it for today, and we'll fast forward to Wednesday now. And as if by magic, it's now Wednesday. 4 things I learned from that was, first thing was that camera that I used to record my monologues was awful. Sorry, I didn't notice that some water must have dripped on it or got behind the lens or something. It's very wet, everything was wet. But I won't be using that again, not unless it's really sunny. It was very bad and low light, which is a shame, because it's got a nice wide field of view and it's got really good stabilisation on it, better than this camera, but this one will do. Second thing I learned is that no matter how much you try to predict the weather, anything can happen at any time. But fortunately I knew what to do there. Reason, not a good place to be in the forest, because if lightning hits a tree, they tend to explode and burning sap goes everywhere. So that's why you get away from trees. Third thing was, the camera. It's meant to be weather sealed, it's relatively waterproof. Not waterproof, but you know, should stand some rain. it didn't. So yeah, that's a concern. I'll have to buy a rain cover for it, so if that happens in the future, or just, you know, put it straight in the bag straight away, and realise that it's not actually weather sealed. Fourth thing I noticed was that my jacket is no longer waterproof. So I do have some, I forget what it's called, but it's a wash-in solution that restores the waterproofing. If that doesn't work, I'll just get some tent spray and spray the coat. I'm not going to buy a new coat, there's no need. There's nothing wrong with that jacket. It's all the zips work, it's not worn in any places. So just a new weatherproofing and it'll be fine. So what am I doing today? Now, I'm up on Buxton Hill and I'm walking out to a place called Pen Hill. It's just past Sidbury. Now, it overlooks sand. I've been there before a few years back and I just want to see what the views are like from there, see if there's any shots there. Not necessarily for today, although today is absolutely beautiful. We've got what I call Simpsons clouds, you know, those little, like the intro, those fluffy ones everywhere. And that brings me on to my shot later, which in the last shot and in the last video, there was rapeseed going and shooting down the valley towards the sea. I want to recreate that, but in better conditions. So I'm hoping for better conditions tonight, about maybe an hour before sunset. Because once that sun goes down the hill, the valley's all in shadow then. So I want to try and catch that light just before it dips behind the hill and goes across the valley. And I'll be doing a handheld panorama because I'll be up on a hedgerow, well, not on the top, but halfway up where the bank is before the growth starts, to get my vantage point. So I can't get a tripod there anyway, but I'll just do a handheld panorama. Now, when you do handheld panoramas, a couple of things you need to know is first, to turn your camera from landscape to portrait, you'll get a much better scene. I'm doing quite a long, thin panorama for this because I don't want too much above or below. I just want this strip of view. The other thing is to keep your exposure in a manual setting. You need to expose it for the brightest part of the scene and then pan across, overlapping slightly with each shot, so that you get a nice even exposure, so that when you come to process it, you don't get coloured bands down. If you've ever done an automatic exposure and it adjusts all the time, when you come to put it as a panorama, you get these coloured lines through it, and that's not what you want. So, I think that's enough gassing. I think we'll crack on now. Okay, well, I've had to change my plans. I'm not going to Pen Hill now. The path that I was taking, there was a stile to climb over, but the farmer had fenced off the whole bottom of it so that I couldn't get Pepper through. Now, I can't lift him over because I had a back injury, quite a severe one when I was younger, and I'm quite limited to what I can do, and lifting Pepper over that would have been dangerous. So change of plans. I was going to try a different route and I started going on that route, but unfortunately there were cows in the field, and they were young cows, and they'd show a lot of interest in Pepper. Besides that, Pepper's terrified of cows. He got chased by a herd once and cornered in a field. It was quite terrifying. So I avoid cows like that. So, I mean, if I didn't have Pepper today, it'd be a lot easier, but I'm not going anywhere without him. So yeah, changed my plans. I'm basically going to come over to a spot I'd shot before, and I'd sort of framed this scene of this branch with ferns that are growing on this branch that's quite high up, and I framed it between some golden leaves, but I think it didn't really come out as a picture. I mean, it looked great on a big screen, but if you look at it on a phone, which most people look at their pictures on a phone, it didn't really work. So I'm going to try that again and try and just focus on the ferns this time. The light could be good. Hopefully the scene's the same. Going through a gate. So we'll try that. So yeah, I'll go and do that, and then stroll back and get this shot that I want to while I get a chance, because that field, they don't grow the rapeseed in there every year. I can't recall how many years ago it was, but obviously they have to leave it fallow for a while. So let's get on to this location anyway. Okay, what I've got here, and I'm not that impressed with the ferns actually. Maybe they just haven't grown enough yet, it's still early in the year. But I tried from up there where I shot last time, and it just didn't work. So I've come down here, and basically I've just set my camera up, pointing directly up. So I've just got a bit of separation. I'm using a shallow depth of field, try and separate it from the sort of the paler green leaves in the background, and see. I think it might make for an interesting image. I'll put up all the images up at the end. I don't seem to be having much luck lately, especially in this video today, but that's okay. I know I've got some shots, so it's not a complete disaster. But these things happen, you know. You've got to think on your feet when you're doing photography. Not everything goes to plan. Never does. Well, I'm not saying never, but you know, you have this idea of how things are going to go, but it never really pans out that way. But that's okay. That's part of the joys. You know, it's not just about photographs. It's about getting out and enjoying being outside, isn't it? So, well, I've got that shot. I don't know if it'll work. We'll see. So I've got to head on to this other spot now. What time is it? Yeah, I can stroll, there's no hurry. Okay, so I've arrived at this scene that I wanted to shoot, shooting towards the sea through the valley, but some high clouds just come in and covered the sun, so it's diffused the light across the valley. I wanted it nice and brightly lit, but I'll hang around and see what happens. Possibility that I might not get the shot, but which is going to be a shame, but kind of sums up this video. But I'll hang around and see what happens. Hopefully it'll clear a little, just enough to get my shot. Okay, well I waited and waited and the sun didn't really do its thing. That's okay. I think I got a nice little shot actually. We'll see. Just while I was waiting, just with some lambs there and some sheep. And I might have got a nice shot shooting through to the bay. Don't know yet until I get home, possibly not. But anyway, that's about it for today. I think this might have turned into a really long video. I'll try and edit it so I keep it nice and short. But if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.